Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. Today, we are going to have a look at how swabbing beneath the fingernail of a murder victim led to the conviction of the perpetrator or assailant. So, this is our topic, that fingernail swab of murder victim convicts assailant. This will be our outline for today. Overview of forensic DNA analysis. This is a true case or a true life story, so brief facts of the case. Exhibits or samples retrieved for analysis. Analysis performed. The laboratory process involved in this analysis. We will look at the results and then we can conclude. But before we continue, once again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. Like this video, share for others also to get it. Leave all your comments and questions in the comment section, and I'll do well to attend to any question that you have. Thank you. So, overview of forensic DNA analysis. We say DNA analysis, since it was introduced in the mid-1980s, has revolutionized forensic science and the ability of law enforcement to match perpetrators with crime scenes. A DNA profile produced from the evidentiary sample or evidence sample, often referred to as the questioned sample or the unknown sample, is then compared to a reference or known sample, which must also undergo data analysis and the same interpretation decision process. Reference samples may come directly from a suspect or indirectly from a DNA database search of previous offenders. Following comparison of the question and known sample profile results, conclusions are then drawn regarding a potential match or not, and a report is written. So, brief facts of the case. What really happened? On 28th April 2019, at about 1100 hours, brother of a 29-year-old woman, now deceased, went to the police station in the nearby town and reported that same day at about 1000 hours, he went to visit his sister but found the door to her room opened. He entered and found the lifeless body of his sister lying on the floor. Police proceeded to the room of the 29-year-old woman and found her body lying on the floor. Police collected some exhibits from the room and body of the deceased. Investigation revealed that on 26 April 2019 at about 1930 hours, a 34-year-old automechanic who was the boyfriend of the deceased woman visited her in her room. So police arrested the 34-year-old automechanic in his house to aid investigation. Also, police searched his room and collected some exhibits for forensic analysis. So what are the various exhibits that police retrieved for analysis throughout the course of investigation? 1. A knife with stains suspected to be human blood, which was found on the floor in the deceased woman's room. 2. A swab beneath the fingernail of the deceased woman. So swabbing inside the fingernail of the deceased woman. 3. Strand of hair with its root on the floor of deceased room. 4. Swab of suspected blood on the upper lip of the deceased woman. 5. Muscle tissue of deceased woman which was taken at autopsy. Also buccal swab sample of the 34-year-old mechanic for the purpose of comparison with other samples or the crime scene samples. Also, trousers with suspected blood stain found in the room of the 34-year-old auto mechanic boyfriend of the deceased woman. Also, a shirt with suspected blood stain also found in the room of the 34-year-old auto mechanic boyfriend of the deceased woman. So, the various analyses that were performed. 1. Analysis was performed to establish whether stains on the knife are human blood. Also, analysis was performed to establish whether substance swab from the upper lip of deceased woman is human blood. Once again, analysis was performed to establish whether stains in the trousers are human blood. Also, to establish whether stains in the shirt are human blood. Also, to determine whether swab of fingernails, that's swabbing beneath the fingernails of deceased woman, contains any foreign DNA. That's any DNA aside DNA of the woman. Also, to determine the sources of DNA extracted from all the evidence samples by comparing them to the reference samples. In this case, the reference samples are the muzzle from deceased woman and the buccal swab from the suspect, that is the auto mechanic boyfriend of the deceased woman. So, the various scientific or laboratory processes that were involved in this whole analysis. First one was serological analysis, and serology is the analysis of body fluids, that's in forensic context. So the various exhibits that were thought to be human blood were subjected to serological analysis to ascertain whether indeed they were the body fluid that the investigators initially thought they were. So in this case, they were thinking those stains were human blood. So they did serological analysis to determine whether indeed they were human blood. Then the various samples were also subjected to DNA extraction, where DNA was extracted or isolated from the various biological samples. After which DNA quantification was done to know the amount of DNA extracted. And also DNA amplification of PCR was also done to amplify the various target sequences. And these amplified fragments were detected through capillary electrophoresis. The report was written and then the various statistical analyses were done. So these are the various laboratory processes involved. So results. So results for the serological analysis. After subjecting the samples to serological analysis, these were the results. 1. The stains on the knife tested positive for human blood. It means the stains on the knife were indeed human blood. 2. Substance on upper lip of deceased woman tested positive for human blood. It means the swab of the substance that they found on the upper lip of the deceased woman was indeed human blood. 3. Stains in trousers tested positive for human blood. It means stains in the trousers that was retrieved from the suspect's room were indeed human blood. Also, stains in the shirts retrieved from the suspect's room tested positive for human blood. Now, results for DNA testing. Blood stains on the knife gave a full female DNA profile. So, blood stains on the knife was blood from a female, so it gave a full female DNA profile. Blood stain on upper lip of deceased woman gave a full male DNA profile. So the substance on the upper lip of the deceased woman was indeed human blood, and it was a male blood, so it gave a full male DNA profile. Once again, blood stains in the trousers found in the room of the suspect gave a full female DNA profile. So the trousers found in the room of the suspect contained human blood, and this human blood was from a female, so it gave a full female DNA profile. Also, blood stains in the shirt that was retrieved from the suspect's room gave a full female DNA profile. It means the blood in the shirt was from a female source, so it gave a full female DNA profile. Now, the strand of hair with its root that was found on the floor of the deceased woman's room gave a full male DNA profile. It means a strand of hair with its root found in the deceased woman's room came from a male, so it gave a full male DNA profile. Now, fingernail swab of deceased gave a full male DNA profile. It means there was indeed male biological sample found beneath the fingernail of the deceased. It means maybe the deceased woman struggled with her assailant, and as a result, maybe scratched the body of the assailant. Hence, there was foreign DNA beneath her fingernail, and this foreign DNA came from a male source. So after swabbing beneath the fingernails of the deceased woman, this swab gave a full male DNA profile. Also, muscle tissue that was taken from the deceased woman at autopsy to compare with the various crime scene sample gave a full female DNA profile. Of course, we know the source, that is from a woman, so it gave a full female DNA profile. Once again, background swab sample from the suspect, that the 34-year-old Automechanic boyfriend of the deceased woman, gave a full male DNA profile. We also know the source of this sample, that is coming from a male, so of course it should give a full male DNA profile. So we can see the table of results here. These are the various markers or STR loci. This is the profile of the human blood that was found on the knife. This is the profile of the human blood found in the shirt. This is also the profile of the human blood found in the trousers. And these samples were compared to the reference sample or the muscle tissue taken from the deceased woman as autopsy. So if you compare these profiles, you can see that the profile coming from the human blood on the knife, the profile coming from the human blood in the shirt, and the profile coming from the human blood in the trousers are all matching, or they are all the same. You can check the various alleles: 15, 16, 15, 16, 15, 16, 17, 18, 17, 18, 17, 18, 8, 11, 8, 11, 8, 11, 11, 12, 11, 12, 11, 12, 6, 11, 6, 11, 6, 11. Likewise, the profile from the reference sample, in this case the muscle tissue taken from the deceased woman, also had the same profile as these crime scene samples. Once again, 15, 16, 17, 18, 8, 11, 11, 12, 6, 11, etc. and they all came from female source. Then what it means is that these samples came from the deceased woman. So the blood that was found on the knife in the deceased woman's room, that blood came from the deceased woman. The blood that was found in the shirt, and the shirt was found in the room of the suspect, that blood came from this deceased woman. The blood that was found in the trousers in the room of the male suspect came from this deceased woman. It means our suspect has questions to answer. So the likelihood ratios were calculated for each locus or marker, and after that they were multiplied to get the combined likelihood ratio, and the value was 2.2628 times 10 exponent 24, a very huge number. Once again, another comparative analysis was also done. So these are the various STR markers or loci. This is the blood that was found on the upper lip of the deceased woman. This is the fingernail swab of the deceased woman. This is the hair strand with its root found in the room of the deceased woman. And these samples were compared to the buccal swab sample from the 34-year-old automechanic suspect. So let's check the profiles. 13, 16, 13, 16, 13, 16, 13, 16, 15, 19, 15, 19, 15, 19, 15, 19, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 8, 12, 8, 12, 8, 12, 8, 12, etc. for all the other markers. And let's look at that male XY, 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 all from male source. It means all these samples, these 3 crime scene samples, came from our suspect. So it means the blood sample that was found on the upper lip of our deceased woman came from the male suspect. Also, the foreign male DNA that was found beneath the fingernails of the deceased woman once again came from the 34-year-old boyfriend of the woman. Also, the hair strand with root that was found in the room of the deceased woman also came from the 34-year-old automechanic boyfriend. So the likelihood ratios were calculated, and after that they were multiplied to get the combined likelihood ratio. So what conclusions were drawn? 1. It was concluded that the stain on the knife was or is human blood. Also, it was concluded that the substance on the upper lip of the deceased woman is human blood. Also, it was concluded that the stains in the trousers found in the room of the male suspects were or are human blood. It was also concluded that the stains in the shirts are or were human blood. It was also concluded that blood stain on the knife, blood stains in the shirt, and blood stains in the trousers are all from the same source, or were all from the same source. Also, blood on the upper lip of deceased woman, biological material swab beneath the fingernail of the deceased woman, and the hair strand with root that was found in the room of the deceased woman are or were all from the same source. Also, DNA profiles obtained from the blood on the upper lip of the deceased woman, fingernail swab of deceased woman, and hair strand with root are consistent with DNA profile from the buccal swab of suspect. It means they match with the DNA profile from the suspect. Now, probability that the exhibits originated from the suspect are 1.1383 times 10 exponent 25 times more likely than if they originated from an unknown unrelated individual, and this translates into a percentage probability of 99.9999%. Also, DNA profiles obtained from blood on knife, the blood in the shirt and blood in trousers are consistent with DNA profile of deceased woman. It means DNA profiles from these exhibit that the blood on knife, blood in shirt, and blood in trousers, they match the DNA profile of the deceased woman. and the probability that these exhibits originated from the deceased woman are 2.2628 times 10 exponent 24 times more likely than if they originated from an unknown, unrelated individual. And this translates into a percentage probability of 99.9999%. So these were the conclusions that were drawn. And based on this profile, based on these conclusions, the 34-year-old auto mechanic suspect was convicted by a court. That's convicted and sentenced for the offense of murder. So this is how the various samples, especially the swab of fingernail, that swabbing beneath the fingernails of the deceased, the hair strand, just a tiny hair strand with root found on the floor in the room of the deceased woman, the blood, small spot of blood found on the upper lip of the deceased woman, together with other exhibits, were able to help in convicting the assailant of the woman or the perpetrator of this crime. So, once again, thank you very much for your audience. I'm very grateful. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to hit the bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget to share so your colleagues can also learn something from this video. And don't forget to leave all your questions, your comments in the comment section. And I'll do very well to answer any questions that you have. Thank you and have a nice day.